everybody. Welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. All right, let's talk about him lying. You think he's lying? I'll give you some signs so you'll know. All right, we have a letter. So let's dive right into this letter and see what she says. I'm 20, and I've been dating this guy for a few months now. Lately, something feels off. He says he loves me and that I can trust him, but sometimes his stories don't make sense, or he acts weird when I ask simple questions. I don't want to accuse him of anything, but am I just overthinking? But I also don't want to be played either. How do I tell if he's lying to me without starting a huge fight or looking crazy? All right. You know, a lot of folks are going through this, and she's just 20. But what about you older women with your men? You get a gut feeling that he's lying, but you still question it. Okay? And I know some women, they'll say, no, tell me the truth. I can take it. Tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. And then eventually he breaks down and tells you the truth, and you couldn't take it. Okay, so just think about that. But let's talk about some signs that he will show that he's lying. Okay? Number one, he shudders when he tries to answer your question. You say, where were you last night? I was at my boy's house. Stuff like that. No, he's lying. Okay? He gives you attitude when you ask him a question. Where were you last night? It ain't none of your business where I was last night. He's lying. His phone stays on Do Not Disturb when he's with you. He'll tell you, well, I just don't want nobody calling me when I'm over here. I want to spend all my time with you. They have all kinds of tales to tell you. If he's doing things like that, he's holding something secret. See? Which means that he's lying. And your energy, your own energetic intuition is going to tell you that he's lying. When you confront anyone, not just your boyfriend or your mate, but anyone, and you ask them something, you got a gut feeling when they speak, whether it's truth or whether it's a lie, right? Your own intuition. But women, when we care for someone, whatever they say, we want it to be true. So, even if our guts say he's lying, your ego is going to say, no, he's telling you the truth. You jump into conclusions, things like that, because you, in your ego, you want it to work. So you overlook all of the red flags. And we've all done it. You overlook all of the red flags along the way. All right? When he lies the first time, he needs to be shut down right there. Because if he gets away with one lie, he's going to continue to lie to you. Okay? And especially if he's the type of guy who would cheat on you, but then he's probably very crafty in his lying. I know when I dated, there was a man that would pretend that he had some sort of meeting every Saturday. Every Saturday, but it would take all day Saturday, this meeting. And you know what? I knew that he was lying, but I didn't know what he was doing in those hours. And so when the relationship broke up, one of the things that I remember he said to me was, well, I've been home with you every night. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that you weren't cheating. It's like people don't think that you can cheat during the day. It's got to be at night. So, ladies, if you confront your man about his daytime activities, don't question yourself. If your intuition pushes you that way, you stay on that path until you find the truth. Now, once you find the truth, what do you do with it? Okay. And once you know the truth in your heart, what do you do with it? Now, the bottom line is here. Don't second guess yourself. Love don't come with confusion. And peace doesn't require investigation. You're too fine, too fly to be stressing out after a grown man. Okay? So let's see what you do about this. Whatever you do is going to be a result of this lie, and how big this lie is and how much it affects your life and your livelihood with him. Okay? It could be just a little lie. He might just say, that you may accuse him of flirting with somebody. And then he says, no, I wasn't. Then it turns out that you caught him doing it. And now that was a lie. Okay, do you forgive him? Do you turn your head and act like it didn't happen? Or do you try to shut it down right there? My advice is to try to shut it down right there. Draw his attention to it. Let him know that you do not appreciate that and you will not tolerate that. And for him not to do it again. All right? So with you setting a boundary like that, now he's got a choice. Whether he respects the boundary or he doesn't respect the boundary. And if he shows you that he's not going to respect your boundary, then your next step is think about your exit plan. There's no compromise. There's no, I'm going to stick around and tough it out. And, he's not that bad. At least he pays the bills. People do stay in relationships under those conditions. And, I venture to say it's more people staying in these relationships because of the income, because of the children, because, and less of them together because they truly, really love each other and want to be together. Okay, that's my point there. I believe that you deserve to be happy in life, which means that why would you tolerate a liar? A liar. And if you're with a narcissist, well, you know he's a liar. He's always been lying, and he's never going to stop lying. Now, men would tell little lies to spare your feelings. Little lies like you might say, what did you do when you and your boys went to Vegas? So he'll say, oh, well, we didn't do much. We went down to the casino, and actually just went up to our rooms and went to bed early. When actually maybe they went to a strip club, but he wants to spare your feelings, so he's not going to tell you that he and the boys went to the strip club and stayed out there all night and whatever. You understand? So sometimes he will tell little lies just to spare your feelings. All right? So, we'll give him a pass on that. But like I said, I believe it's according to how much the lie affects your life and your happiness. All right? Now, if he comes and tells you that he doesn't know the Sister Sarah that well at church, and then Sister Sarah turns up pregnant, and Then there are whispers that they saw Sister Sarah coming out of his office, things like that. Well, that lie would be a big, big lie. And you would have to respond to that. And, my advice is to pack your bags and leave. All right, because that is a blatant disrespect. A slap right in your face for a man to do that. Now, ladies, if you happen to be married with someone who's been lying for years, you're probably numb to it. You're used to it by now. But, like the lady in the letter, she's only 20 and just starting out. And I say it will be to your advantage to shut him down right away. And you may want to leave him because you're young. You don't have to put up with nonsense this early in the game. Okay? If he's starting out lying this early in his age, he is not the one for you. He's not now, and he probably won't be. Okay? Because he's learned that behavior already somewhere. And you don't want it brought into your life. Okay, now here is the point you need to remember. Never ask for the truth unless you are ready to hear the truth. I even in my relationships, I have asked men, just tell me the truth. They say, you're not ready for the truth. You understand? So just make sure you are ready, because it may be something that'll just knock you over. Maybe you need to sit down when you ask him, just tell me the truth, because it could be a horrible truth. All right, so just be ready for that. Now, the other thing is, never confront him when you are angry about a lie. All right, so again, it's according to whatever the lie is. If he's been cheating and you've figured out that when he comes home, he says that he's been working, that he's lying, don't confront him when you're angry about it. Don't confront him when you're drunk. And don't confront him in public. So don't march yourself down to his office, knock over the door with your feet, and and try to expose him, because now you realize that he's been lying. Okay? Timing matters. All right? So does your energy. Don't bring receipts unless you're prepared to go all the way with it. Now, I hope that I said something here that can help someone. But if you suspect that your partner is lying, stay calm. Do not go at them with accusations. I know you lying. You this and you that and you don't. No, that's not going to solve anything. Just say, well, you know what? Just lay your facts on the table while you feel like they're lying. I was over there and I saw your car over at her house at so-and-so o'clock. So I know you was over, have your facts. Or you can say, you know what? I have a strong feeling that you're lying. If that's all you got, say that. But I would say I would confront the situation, because even if you said that you have a strong gut feeling, that lets him know that you are in tune with the energy. So anytime he's going to be lying to you, he's going to think about it, that you can read the energy. You understand? That's a powerful thing. So just tune into yourself and raise your frequency so that you can be right on top of these things. I hope you understand the message today, and I really hope that it helps someone. Now, those of you who may have a question that you'd like for me to answer, my email address is in the description. And if you're looking for today's affirmation, a link is also in the description. I want to thank you so much for supporting this channel. Thank you for your comments and your letters. And a very special thank you to those that leave a donation. I really appreciate all of you. I wish you all the very best. And I really hope to see you next time.